Alright guys, hello and welcome back. It's time for the final one of the day. This one is going to be Resist Gaming facing off against Noble Esports for Group B, their first and second seed. We saw Noble Esports get brought down in round one. Resist Gaming won their first game back in the round one matchup as well. So these teams both going to be itching for the victory. Resist Gaming could put themselves up by a decent margin in the Group B standings if they can find this final one of the day. That said, I'm Zayden, once again going to be joining me Ranconius to close out the day.
Yep, they always put on the Aussie on the last game of the day. God damn it!
Yeah, I don't get why they do that anyway. It's like you eat that Vegemite and the weird food, and you have the animals and the wildlife. The plants aren't out to kill you yet, apparently. I don't even know anymore. It's Resist Gaming, though, facing off against Noble Esports as the picks and bans are well underway.
Yeah, from the side of Resist Gaming and Noble Esports, Resist are currently 1 win, 1 loss, and Noble Esports are currently at 2 losses, so they're not doing all the best from the side of, from the guys on Noble, and they should be, like, they should have been able to beat Torch. I really was not expecting that upset, considering that Noble Esports actually won the last week of one-day competition, the knockout rounds, basically.
Yeah, I mean, previously, COD Crusaders and Noble had faced off in the first 5 weeks. Noble had taken the one game they faced each other in. Other than that, Noble Esports, in the standing, they faced Resist Gaming twice and did lose both of those games. So, hopefully for Noble Esports' sake, history does not repeat themselves and they kind of found out the solution to Resist Gaming. But a rocky start so far of the first day of group stages for them.
Yeah, and the other thing as well that makes it really, really interesting heading into next weekend is if Noble actually win this game, Noble, Resist, and Torch should all be 1-1-1. But if Torch beat COG Crusaders, then they will be tying with COG Crusaders for top of the table with 2-1 for both of those guys. And Resist and Noble will both be 1-2. So it's going to be a very, very close game going towards next week. This game is actually holding a lot of the teams at bay going, alright, who do we need to focus on beating for next week? Anyway, picks and bans in front of us. Let's turn our attention to those.
Yeah, well underway. Geb actually was the first pick there, taking that one away from Junipero. She played Geb quite a lot. The number I saw, she had played it 10 times over the course of, I believe, the 14 games she ended up playing over the course of the first 5 weeks. So definitely a lot of focus on the Geb from her, getting taken away from that, picking up Ymir instead. It's still going to be a very strong pick, taking maybe a page out of the EU playbook, and look for that big aggressive frontline play, which, you know, we've seen Junipero play a Geb, a very aggressive Geb play. Bacchus, another one of the supports she'll fall back on, you know, as opposed to Sylvanas or Athena, so Ymir should be right up her alley.
And the other thing that the Ymir pickup does do is it does enable Lu to run something like an Anhur, and it also locks out Ballantyne from playing an Ares. You know, we did see him play that in the first game of the day of Group B. So it is in his god pool. We know that he can play it. He's not afraid to play it, but they set up the draft a lot better for that one. And that's why we're going to see that Geb, you know, but that said, Geb was picked up first time around. You don't run Geb anywhere else. I don't know what I was looking at it going, oh yeah, Ymir's on the board. You can't really pick Ares. It doesn't matter. Geb was already on the board.
Somebody, one of the SPL people, probably Divios or maybe Zalia, will get bored enough one day, just lock it in themselves like, I'm doing it, guys. I don't care what you say. And then Geb's solo lane will be a thing. Mark my words, it'll be one of those two players who ends up doing it. But
well,
I don't look forward to that day because no one else will make it work.
How many people play it in ranked solo Joust? I've seen it quite a few times, because like you just build, you build a Warlock Slash, and it's actually pretty decent. You wave clear really, really well, and you're never able to get pushed out of the lane. You're tanky as all hell, and you do a decent amount of damage as well. So, you know, it's not something that's out of the question. Just but when this lineup is sort of locked in and in front of you, you're going to be running Marauder's Vamana in the solo lane, and not Ballantyne's Geb.
Yeah, 1-1 Guardian table, that's how it's going to work out. The other side, it was Osiris getting locked in for that final pick. A lot of slows coming out from that one. So we can see if they can make good use of that and lock these guys on down. We'll find out exactly how these teams end up facing off against each other here in just a minute, guys. The match is available. We'll be jumping straight on into it. And then we can speculate about all these matchups and all those fun things rather than all the other stuff we got distracted with during picks and bans. So we'll have that coming at you in just a minute, guys. Stick around. Alright, guys. Hello and welcome back. Resist Gaming facing off against Noble Esports in this game. Early grouping, Noble Esports dropping down some deep wards, keeping tabs on exactly what Resist Gaming going to be looking for their start. That, the back copy starts we've been seeing, getting knowledge of that and exactly what they're doing. You could look for some potential counter invade, some early invades on that attack speed buff. if Noble Esports doesn't start their own back RP camp on that side of the map.
Yeah, they're just gonna get eyes out, get vision. Side of Noble Esports, they did drop a ward. Sorry, not Noble Esports. Resist Gaming. They actually spotted a ward out of their own, so they knew that their own damage camp got warded as well. That's why they're staying a mile away from it. They're just like, nope, we're not giving away any vision whatsoever.
Yeah, probably the same for the 2 star. It's actually a 3-man start on the right-hand side of the map. They might be looking for a big invade on the right-hand side. There's no vision on that side of the map for Resist Gaming. If they can lock somebody down, Marauder may catch vision of this one, not yet aware of it. He caught vision of Thor peeking around that corner, barely.
Did he? I'm gonna say he didn't.
The pings came down.
Copies. Did he? Oh, okay, there you go. There you go.
How are they gonna, if they caught vision of it, they're not going to go for the speed buff right now. They may not have actually caught. They might have suspected it coming in. They're about to get caught out by this one. The slows, the stuns, all the abilities about to rain down on their heads. The stun not going to connect. Hudat able to somersault over that spirit ball. The invade has failed on the right-hand side of the map.
They just got the camp.
Yeah.
That's about all they're gonna get, and they're gonna get a meta camp as well. That's actually not too bad.
Hello.
Left-hand side though, Juniper has found a kill on Inferno, and look how deep that was. Look at where was that dead body. It was like in on this tier 2 tower at level 1. That's how confident Noble Esports are coming into this one.
That was just off of, I don't even know. The Shifting Sands pillar was picked up by Lou for the first ability for that wall to body block and plus the slow. Yeah, the Impale is great, but you miss the Impale, that is pretty much the end of your invade attempt. It failed, it's over. GG, go home, try again later. You go to the Shifting Sands pillar, you're going to get that slow. There's really no avoiding that. The wall, if the pillar rather, if placed properly, can also do a good job of actually stopping people from running away, which is what looked to have happened there. So first blood, Noble Esports picking that one up early on. Right side invade didn't work out too well. Left side, pretty well for them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, right side, it didn't go bad, but it didn't go like 100% according to plan. They didn't get a kill. They got the buff at least steal away, so that means no speed buff for Hudat, and no mana buff for Vamana early on in this lane. So he is really, really going to struggle on this right-hand side. He started the Smithy's Hammer as well, so there's a lot of potions on board right now for that Vamana.
Yeah. It should be okay. There's really no level advantages coming out from these guys. Thor and Osiris a little bit further ahead for the time being, but yeah, nothing really to go too crazy about. Journey looking for a Frost Breath. We'll find Fear now on the tail and do a little bit of poke, a little bit of damage. Otherwise, not really going to be able to capitalize on that. Elsewhere on the map, taking a look at what they started. You're touching on the Smithy's Hammer start coming out from Vamana. Cypher has that Death's Toll. On Osiris especially, you get that kind of AoE on the final hit of your attack chain. It's a decent bit of extra lifesteal and mana gained off of it.
Oh yeah, decent lifesteal, mana hit. Yeah, but Death's Toll, it grants a lot of power and health early. It is that, I mean, there's the reason it's in the starting column. It's because it grants a lot of health, a lot of fizz power, and that sustain, right? That's what you're really, really looking for in an early strong starting item. And it doesn't upgrade into anything, right? That's what you're investing. You invest in towards a Death Toll that's 800 gold locked in, it's going nowhere. It's just giving you those flat stats, you can't improve it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Grouping coming up. Noble Esports want to get control of this game early and not let it go. Both Harpy camps immediately going to be dropping to their side of the board. Games, we saw them back in the first round as a rough matchup for them against COD Crusaders. They quickly identified the fact that, their map rotation, stuff like that, were not on point, and it seems they're looking to correct that going into the final game of the day.
Yeah, look at the guys from Noble Esports. Look how confident they are at this early portion of the game, but look at the composition they've also set up for this early portion of the game. They've got a Thor, they've got an Anhur, they've got a Ymir. If they didn't get ahead at this stage of the game, they're going to fall behind. They've got an Osiris as well, they're into a Vamana. That's a worry going late game. Hu Yi? Think about that Mark of the Golden Crow debuff that you can land, and all the in-hands, the increased damage from those, that is going to be brutal. And Ballantyne, late game Gab, late game Gab is one of those strongest supports.
That shield, that kind of the shockwave, the rollout, whatever, it makes you move quickly for a little bit. That's about it. You can knock somebody around as well, but it's all about those other 3 abilities. They work oh so well. Also on the map, Marauder going to be back to base, finishing off that Rune-Forged Hammer in the mid lane. Bomb connects from BK Haste. Fear No could be dropped down here in the middle of circle protection, though. BK Haste will heal back up. Hudat holding on to the Fear No Evil. Not going to need it. They find that kill. Good restraint coming up from him, while not having it as well kind of hinders the usage of it. Let's be fair.
But just, he was looking to continue boxing out with Hudat as well. That was pretty risky. Left-hand side, Junipera's hanging around this lane a lot. He rotated that once to the mid camps. He hasn't looked to rotate in there again. But there's going to be a 3-man rotate in towards this mid lane. Sorry, 2-man. Marauder and Hudat are both still sitting here in the mid lane, waiting for Cypher. Sorry, not Cypher. They're waiting for BK Hayes to come back down here, and they're just trying to keep pressure on towards him whilst he's not there. It's good for Vamana to rotate because he's in a poor lane. Like, this is a losing lane. He can't do very much against an Osiris, especially without that mana buff early. So get him out of that lane, rotate him around the map, get him some more gold, get him some more XP.
You're now impaled into the wall. Unfortunately, with the change of dive bomb, you can now leap over mirror walls. As Junipera, I'm sure, is disappointed about at that particular moment. They're looking to rotate this one. Here comes Chaos as well from the mid lane. Looks like a ricochet shot does catch Lou on his way out, but not really anything to follow up on otherwise. I actually don't mind as much as Junipera is sticking around in that lane. Juni's doing a good job of zoning Fierno rather off of as much experience gold as possible. They're letting the waves more or less die to the minions. Juni's soaking, Lou is soaking, and Fierno is just forced out of range anyway. So they're both getting experience in gold. While Fierno, while he still is getting a decent bit of it, he's not just getting, like, I'm getting solo experience and you're not, so I'm going to start getting ahead.
Yeah, look at the difference between the two hunters in that aspect. I mean, you mentioned it. Experience, zone control. 300 gold up on the hunters.
Yep.
And he's a level above, right? And Fierno got a bonus wave before going base.
Yeah.
That's gonna be brutal.
It will certainly help things out. I mean, it's a 300 gold difference. That's the difference between the beads and just the transcendence right now, which will certainly help out. The earlier that's online, it's a get out of jail free card essentially for Lou to have. It's still early. It's 1-to-1 kill count. Gold slowly going in the favor of Noble Esports, just the way they're farming and zoning people off experience as the Harpies have respawned. Junie's going to be looking for this one. If he can get a hog down, could steal those away, but the Frost Ruff will come out as just drops in from the Frost, or Famble Dawn, I should say. In the backside, Chaos low, and Lou picks that kill up.
Well, they're also looking for more. Just has got that Cataclysm on top of him that really burst him down. Valentine's got the rollout to try and get out of there. Overhand smash. Somersault really to get Hudat out of trouble. But, hey, Resist Gaming lose another kill. Noble Esports find one. Wasn't quite onto the support, but they're still confident. They want to do this Gold Fury, or is this more of a bait?
Maybe we can sneak it in. They were sitting on a ward for that. They were hoping that no one really kind of suspected it. If the Shifting Sands Pillar had actually blocked off the Gold Fury like they were looking for, they could have gotten some more damage and maybe looked to commit to it. I mean, Valentine did use the Hand of the Gods to take, or the Wrath of the Gods rather, to take that Harpy camp. Junipera did not. Junie had that Wrath of the Gods. They knew the enemy did not. They could have looked for that, but it just basically came down to they would have taken too much damage trying to fight that, and there were too many members of Resist Gaming nearby to look to fight over it. Actually, this is a red ward, excuse me. They don't have vision of this right now.
Well, it's gonna start happening. Valentine's coming in on towards this one. Shards of True Ice is being dropped. They're looking to get it.
They stole it.
Resist Gaming get it. They're still away, and they're gonna get 2 kills out of it as well.
That just came back off cooldown. A second or two earlier, Valentine would not have been able to steal that one away. It came down to a shockwave on the back of that Cataclysm that kept everyone else from actually bursting it down. You saw the Shards of Ice coming out. Valentine just waited for the pop, shockwave, and it's mine for the taking. And like you said, the handful of kills. Could be a tier 1 tower in mid lane as well right now. Cypher not in a great spot. Will wait for it. There we go. Get brought down. Chaos gets that kill. So Resist Gaming, it was a close game for a little while, but the last 30 seconds, Resist Gaming just slingshotted themselves into a decent lead.
Oh, decent? Decent isn't a bit of an understatement at that point there. They're now at 2k gold lead, 2k XP lead. That's a really, really nice snowball coming off the back of that. And they've got the late game comp.
Only a 3,000 gold swing in the last 30 seconds. Decent. They haven't gone back to base to buy shiny new toys quite yet. A couple of them did. Now I'm mistaken. But nevertheless, now it's a okay lead. A decent to okay. Does okay go down? I don't know. It's a pretty good lead, assuming they don't, seesaw this one back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We'll see. We'll have to see. Tangents.
Yeah, I mean, if Noble Esports, right, if they get another advantageous engage in like the next sort of 5-10 minutes, right, they find some really, really nice picks. They've got freeze, they've got the ability to do that. They can follow it up with an impale from Lou. He's rotating heavily at the moment with Junipera to try and put some pressure down. Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, not for Noble. That tier 1 mid lane tower being down is going to cause a bit of problems. There's no safe point right there for BKS to fall back onto. Left side of the map. Yeah, we talked about the early pressure and aggression W's could look for, and not necessarily aggression, but early plays they could look to set up. They really haven't been able to find them. They found that first blood early on. They found a couple Harpy camp fights, but after that, it's kind of, they haven't really had the opportunity.
Batz looking to continue chasing on towards Junipero. That might be a mistake, checking after her as it just slams down and starts spinning on his face. The teleport is in from Marauder. Junipero's still here on the backline. Cypher's going to clean it up, and now the fight's going to break out in earnest.
Just may end up falling for this one. Frost Breath coming across, trying to buy time. Marauder able to use the big baby just in time. Fierno comes across, collects that kill with a ricochet. Fierno now in a bad spot. Up in that dive bomb, leaping to safety as Osiris looks to give chase. If Cypher can get a hit off, he's not going to connect with the Sickle Strike. Means no slow, means no more kill potential in that particular instance. Look at Chaos waiting behind the wall, looking for that stun. As the ricochet bounces, catches Cypher twice. But he's a little too healthy, still going to look to commit to that kill.
They're going to at least take away mid camps on the left-hand side from the side of Resist. That's a win for them. Chaos getting himself some XP on the line. Valentine and also Fierno. That's really huge for them. Right-hand side, Noble Esports looking to contest. Cypher's sitting here on this one, but there's so many members on the backside.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and disengage on that one. Right side buffs are up on the side of the Resist Gaming. Noble Esports have a speed buff to pick up there for a just. Other than that, not really much to talk about at the time. Resist Gaming still have a decent lead for themselves, about 2,500 gold or so. Taking a peek down to the items, teleport is online from Marauder. You'll be able to traverse the map quite quickly if you so chooses. Elsewhere, look at the items, Bancroft's Talon, possibly the Pythagorean's Piece, getting looked at by Chaos. Stacks getting built up by those hunters. A little bit of a lead starting to build up for Fierno on that Ho Yi.
And the warding control as well is pretty unique. Sorry, not unique. It's pretty even across the map. There's a lot of sentries sitting around trying to defend the defensive side of the mid-hoppy camps. That's really, really good to see the amount of wards that are out as well at this stage from the side of both teams. I'm actually going to take a quick look at the wards placed currently, and look at that from Valentine. He's at 6 wards. Junipero's the next closest with 3. Supports alone, twice the number of wards going down from Valentine.
Yeah, I don't want to say essentially been an issue so far because they do have vision right now. They placed in those first 2 early wards, and it's basically just been the, we need 1 or 2 key wards placed down just to kind of keep tabs on everybody. It hasn't been an issue yet. We did see 1 pick onto BK Haste. That's going to be the potential issue because there's no tier 1 tower mid to fall back to. Dive bomb, barely avoiding that Anvil of Dawn.
Yeah, Fierno was in a little bit of trouble. Valentine's here on the backside. Now Marauder's also teleported in. Who dat and Chaos, everyone piling in.
Yep, damage is on Fierno, finds a kill. Sunbreaker's down the middle of this one. Murder's health bar getting a little bit low, but he's in that big baby form. 5% of his health per second regen. As they now look for the retreat coming out. They could potentially look to just turn and re-engage in this one, but they're trying to lock down BK Haste in the backline. If that falls, that's going to be a couple more kills coming out. Cypher in a bad spot. Going to find a... No, not quite. Judgment Tethers. A little bit too late for that nice stun.
Unfortunately, Lou and Just not able to re-engage on the back of this one, and Noble Esports, they're now down 4-11 as well. Check out that gold lead stun. This Noble K-Box isn't quite done. Yep.
That was pretty well played by him. Dropping that one down where he was going to be leaping to. He's kind of predicting that one. Tier 1 tower left side. Valentine saving those minions as long as possible. Make sure this tower will fall for an extra 500 gold in the bank for Resist Gaming. Noble Esports, they're not out of this game yet, but if they don't find an answer to the Resist Gaming pressure right now, they may find themselves at another defeat today.
Yeah, staring at another defeat screen, especially because they've played so well. Like, you go in and you lock your secure place in, thanks, of course, to the results of the last week of Challenger Cup play before we moved on to this round robin phase, and then you come out and you go 0 for 3. That's not a good setting. It's not knocked out by any chance, though. They're going to be able to regroup and come back next week and play exceptionally. But Gold Fury, it's spawned, and Resist, they're the ones all over it once again.
Juniper's here looking at Frost Breath, going to find a little bit of some of the Fury was dropped down. They want to make sure Junie can't steal the way. Resist secures that one. Spirit Ball over the wall, a little too late to save the day for Junie. She will fall on the and be on respawn for a little while. We'll see if they look for this play. You see him rotating, looking for picks. They're looking for that right side Harpy camp, but it just was already there to bring them down.
Viper, though, he's still in the front line at this point in time, still getting chased down by Marauder and Valentine. Really do what they want. Blue, though, he's found the Impale, and then he come down with the Desert Fury as well, so that's on cooldown. Fierno gets a stun, and that could be the kill on Blue. Great Spirit Bomb, though. Blink into the Cataclysm. Wow, great combo from the team on Resist.
Yeah, they played that one quite well over the wall with Dive Bomb. Fierno looking for that kill. Not quite able to find that one. BK Haste finding Valentine. Dove a little bit too deep. Got separated from the rest of his team and brought down because of it. So as things stand, Resist Gaming will hold on to the lead, about 5,000 gold, as they look to go back to base, spend some of that hard-earned gold, finish up some items. Fire Giant, we're at the point of the game where it definitely could be a consideration. Noble Esports have kind of been on the back foot so far, or at least not so far. For a decent little while in the game, they had the early game pressure, but I'm not sure what happened to it.
They kind of just fell by the wayside as Resist just made some smaller rotations, were in position, and Noble Esports, I mean, they had to get at least somewhat going in this early stage of the game. They didn't quite get there, and then they kind of overforced things. That's the problem. They were forcing aggression. You just can't overforce aggression ever. You need to know your limits.
Yeah, that is very true. I don't also know that there was no like, okay, they should have done this instead. This was a huge mistake coming out from this. So they're like, we're going to take both these Harpy Cams. We're going to group up. We're going to make big rotations with Harpy Cams. So, like, this is what they need to do. We saw them going up in the first game of the day. They were kind of not rotating much. I was like, this is great. They identified the problems they were having. They fixed it. They did that. And then after that, it's like, yeah, that was kind of it. We haven't really seen any big rotations from them. We haven't seen any real big groupings. I can't even say they're not making use of the abilities. They're just kind of playing too passively. They're waiting for Resist Gaming, they're waiting for Resist Gaming to come to them, and they're not making use of the fact they have the Ymir, that they have the Thor, that they have the Osiris. They have so many abilities to set up plays that are just not being utilized.
Gets the one-on-one in the left-hand lane as well. Yeah, they're just not in a position at the moment either where they can look to find anything. They're just currently losing in the 1v1s. They got a nice couple of picks on the BK Haste, and I think that was crucial as well. Knocking him out, making sure that Circle of Protections was never available when they needed to use it. Because that Circle of Protections in the early game is so crucial to turning things.
Oh, absolutely. Right side, Marauder looking to take this tier 1 tower. You're going to be doing so uncontested. Mid lane, Valentine just kind of keeping tabs on as many people of Noble Esports he possibly can right now, as Marauder's actually going to be looking for that tier 2 tower there. They need to send someone over to stop him. Right now I see BK Haste already making that rotation himself. Looking at things going forward. Noble need a way and back into this one, and it's not going to be as simple as I'll just show up to an objective and steal it away, because Resist Gaming are just not going to give them that window. Like we saw Juniper go for the steal, and we'll just drop Fear No Evil, make sure you can't get him, we'll kill you before you have a chance to get close.
One of the potential windows, Cypher's actually going to get caught out and almost killed immediately. Is somersault into him. Can he find the overhand smash? Not quite, but he will just drop the Fear No Evil and pick up that kill. Who dat? Another kill on the board for him. Juniper is going to be the next focus. They're looking for stuns. Shards of True Ice dropped. Spirit Ball combo looking to at least defend the tower, but Lou's finally going to rotate from that right-hand side of the map. It's a little bit too late. Noble Esports already down a man.
Yep, the grouping coming up. The mini wave is about to arrive as well. Furno's going to make pretty quick work of this tower. There's the blowing shockwave attempt coming out from Valentine. Not quite going to find it, but the tier 2 in the mid lane is dropping quickly. Marauder does have that Colossal Fury available for some health regen. He might be in a spot to be forced to use it right here. Looking to back off instead, save it for another day. And, you know, why not? I got out safely. We're not looking to stick around and fight anymore. Save it for later. He also has that Frost.
Is it a health pop?
He also has that Frostbound Hammer online as well, so once he goes into that big baby form, someone's going to be having a rough time inside Noble Esports.
He's got Frostbound and Runeforged Hammer as well, so that's 750 bonus health from just those 2 items. And you can see that's why he's going for a balanced play next. He's looking at either Execution, Chin Size, probs Executioner. Executioner is just a little bit of a better pickup at the moment. Chin Size is still a little bit too weak, I think, to be picked up at this sort of time. And the targets that he's looking to try and focus down, Chin Size isn't going to help him with that either.
No, I mean, it's extra health from the Frostbound, the Runeforge. It doubles with his passive. The more physical protection he gets, the more physical power he gets. His passive has it, the Runeforged Hammer has it as well, so he kind of double dips in that department. Similar to Kukulkan with his passive, Book of Thoth, you kind of get that double mana pool benefit. Vamana, same type of deal, just with physical protections instead of mana. Right now, getting zoned out. Resist Gaming's on the hunt. Noble Esports hanging around that Fire Giant pit. You see the retreat calls come in. They just caught vision of those guys. They got out of the engagement safely, but that was, that's 2 ultimates down for them.
He's actually going to get engaged upon by Houdat at this point. Down goes the Fear No Evil, and really trying to focus across on towards Lou. Desert Fury is keeping him safe at the moment from Houdat. But now they're looking to come back in. Resist are going to grab a Gold Fury in the meantime. Juniper is going to find comeback kill on towards Houdat, but Marauder's here.
Yeah, that was a Gold Fury pickup for Resist Gaming as well. So one for a kill for Gold Fury, not too bad. But that was a decent shutdown bonus because he was a little bit up on kills. So we'll see that potentially means the potential of the rush for a Fire Giant right now, or force a Fire Giant by Resist Gaming, is going to be off the table for about 20 more seconds. It's more breathing room for Noble Esports, but the gold lead is slowly but surely starting to grow. You can see it's just kind of been a gradual uphill climb for Resist Gaming, getting just further and further ahead. Not only is it just that climb, but those steps to victory, they're getting up there pretty good.
And look at the way that Resist Gaming have pushed forward as well. They're not so much focusing on the wards in the Fire Giant and Gold Fury pits, they're focusing on an advanced warding. Well, it's actually going to be Noble looking for an engage.
It's two tanking members of Resist Gaming, however, can they bring these guys down? There's that Colossal Fury coming out from Marauder, looking to cause all sorts of havoc. Rose of the Afterlife used to retreat right now. Noble Esports not in a favorable fight as everyone else did arrive. Junie getting attempting to be locked down right now. The wall will cut off Marauder, but that health bar is dropping. Cass just waiting for those cooldowns. Going to beads for the cooldowns, and that's going to be the kill. Cypher not long behind either. Double for Chaos coming down on that one. Fierno, meanwhile,
look at Fierno
in the back line chasing people off.
Yeah, and he can do so. BK Haste is on the left-hand side. He was just left all alone in that fight, and he wasn't in range to do damage either. And now the focus on towards Fire Giant. Junipera's dead. This one should be able to be secured pretty easily, but Chaos wants kills.
There's Fear coming across this one, maybe only helping Resist Gaming get this Fire Giant down just that much more quickly. They have the Wrath of the Gods. They need to find these kills, but Chaos is in the backline right now. BK Harris will fall. Thor is up in the air. He has the Wrath of the Gods. Even trying to steal could buy them some much-needed time. That's going to get a couple kills. Resist Gaming will secure the Fire Giant. Triple kill coming out for Chaos as well. But that is a full-on deicide coming out for Resist Gaming. They took down two members. That's the front line without that Fire Giant buff. But they're still tanky. They're still ahead. They'll still be able... That was very echoey. On Fear now. What is that? Oh.
They've also got minions on the right-hand side as well if they want to shove. So they get up here and Fierno is just like, get out of here, tower. You are dead. And you know, there's only one tower left on the map. This is the hard part of the game. Resist need to get on towards one of these Phoenixes. I really, really like the power of Ymir underneath a Phoenix. Shards of Turais combined with a Freeze, Frost Carpet. Cool. You can do a lot of damage and lock them down for long enough.
That was an unofficial Penta as welcome for Chaos. Checking. Bulger mentioned it over in chat. If it's not on screen and we're not screaming about it, it doesn't count. If it's on screen and we're not screaming about it, it will count. If it's not on screen, period, it doesn't count.
I save another level for Pentas as well, so if it wasn't official Penta, you guys would know.
We'll do it. Pentakill! That's all he gets. It wasn't official. Sorry. Doesn't say it on screen, guys. I'm not going to get hyped about it. Yeah, nevertheless, there was a bit of a messy fight going to that one. They were looking for the steal. It would have bought them time. It would have kept the Fire Giant buff out of Resist Gaming's hand in that particular instance. But it's borrowed time at this point. Noble Esports need to find some big teamfight victories. But we've seen so many times they found two members in the Fire Giant pit. Unfortunately, it was Marauder and Bellantine, the two big tanky frontliners. They didn't have the damage to burst those guys down. They were able to regroup, re-engage, and find that teamfight victory nevertheless. They need to find the squishy backliners, and they just haven't been able to.
Yeah, but it's getting towards this phase of the game where Huyi is actually going to get a lot stronger. Chaos is actually just going to find and kill out Cypher with the aid of a few teammates. They're just like, yo guys, look, found Cypher, let's kill Osiris. Slam down from a just. Immediately throws his Mjolnir to tune him straight out of there. You've been hanging around. Lou might be in trouble as well.
Tier 2 left lane being brought down. No towers left standing on the map right now for Noble Esports. All between Resist Gaming and the Titan are those last few remaining Phoenixes. And, well, what do you think's in the sight of Resist Gaming right now, Scott? Could it possibly be those Phoenixes? Maybe.
Maybe. I'd like to point out as well, a crucial part for Noble Esports is getting Lou to an Executioner, and he's not there yet.
That was a big initiation coming. Marauder down the front line. Chaos finds yet another kill, as did Marauder. Junie very low in the back line. Hudak picks up that kill. Weakening Curse deployed, trying to put a stop to that rampage by that big baby, but it's going to possibly be too little too late. Only two members left standing on Noble Esports. As the Titan begins to get aggressive and its health starts to drop, this could be Resist Gaming going away with another victory.
Gotta catch them all. Cypher, he's still trying to run around, but he will not manage to live through this one. Titan is dropping. They're gonna find it just at least on the backside. Fierno will finally die for only the second time in that game. And, well, Resist Gaming, they're gonna head themselves to a really, really nice standing at the end of week 1.
That is for sure. I believe that was a 3-0 sweep coming out of those guys. Have the just double checking that.
COD Crusaders went 3-0. Resist went 2-1.
I guess that is right. We did see that happen earlier. Or did we?
Yeah.
I saw COD Crusaders earlier. I forgot what game it was. It was like half an hour ago. My memory does not go back that far, unfortunately. Nevertheless, we saw some great games. On the first day of week 2, we have EU coming up tomorrow morning. That's going to be all we have for coverage so far today. Just to double check the standings. It is going to, like you said, are these actually updated? These might not be updated quite yet.
These aren't updated just quite yet, but I have a really good feeling that COD Crusaders would have beaten Torch the way they were playing today.
It's a possibility. Once we have the final upgrade from that game, we'll have to see exactly how that plays out. Group A, we do have the finalist standings up there. Resist Gaming did... Wait. Something's wrong here.
Something's wrong here?
The standings I'm looking at may be all sorts of wrong, so I have no clue who is currently standing anywhere. Up in the top side of the bracket, I do know that High Five did close out that top part of the bracket 2-1. And they did, I believe Yomi defeated them in a full sweep. So there'll be stats posted. I'll have the updated stats for tomorrow, as well as they'll get posted up to the website along with some articles once we have all that relevant information picked up for you guys. This game, however, to talk about that one, Chaos. Just completely on fire that entire game. Pun not intended, just coincidental.
He was really causing chaos, pun intended.
Yeah, I don't do the pun thing, but nevertheless, 15-1-10 coming out from that. Damage numbers. Do you think he's up top? Do you think that's a possibility? Maybe he's most damaged in the game? Do you think he's maybe doing about 30% more damage than anyone else, sitting about 21,000 damage? Next highest sitting at 14,000. So, lessons learned. Do not let Chaos get Agni.
And it wasn't even Swag Me either. So,
that is true.
He had more pocket swag to bring out.
That is true. Guys, that is going to wrap things up for today, however. That's it for North America. Group B is done and over with. Sweeping all the stuff off the screen. Unfortunately, no post-game stats because we did do some demo recording today. We're going to attempt to maybe sort that out and get those post-game stuff up on stream for you guys going forward again. Other than that, yeah, that's going to wrap things up for today. We do have EU. Too early for my taste tomorrow morning, but nevertheless, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you stop on by and check that out if you happen to be awake. Some good matchups. EU, if it's possible to have been any closer than NA has been, actually is. It's going to be an absolute, I expect a bloodbath tomorrow. Just crazy games all across the board. Teams over there are going to be Six Sigma, Myrmidons, Poppies, Elo Fishers, Team Illusion, Moonmen, Team Bazaar, and Losing Road. To round out the EU scene, they'll be split up into 2 groups tomorrow and facing off against each other. Each team has 3 games to play. And then we'll repeat the process next weekend to close things out ahead of the finals, because those will potentially be leading the victors out of the group stage and the finals to what could potentially down the road be a seat at the Smite World Championships. That's a long ways off though, however, guys, so they have a ways to go. They have many games in front of themselves just still in this particular summer split for the Challenger Cup. So without further ado, as we are the kings and, well, kings, no queens around here, I don't believe, the kings of brief outros, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up for today. Anything to close things out, Scott?
No, just, yeah, if you've enjoyed with the action that's coming today, EU's so much better. Well, not better, but it's closer.
Yeah.
I definitely think some of the NA teams are better than the EU teams, but I think the EU action is a lot closer.
Yeah, I'd say if you kind of like, if you graft out the team, it's like, NA there's a lot of really good teams that kind of spread out a little bit more. EU is like these teams, it's like they're all like just trying to squeeze through a doorway at the same time, and they get stuck because it's that close. That's it, guys. That's going to wrap things up today for the Challenger Cup. SPL still going on over at Smite, twitch.tv/SmiteGame. Go on over and check that one out. For all the extra Smite action you want to look for, it's over there on Smite Game 1. So thank you guys very much for watching, for my co-caster, and for Hinduman who was here earlier, and for hi-rez Studios. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.